In the February edition of BBC Wildlife magazine, you'll find the second section of a three-part quiz linked to the Living Planet series. It offers prizes of a trip in a hot air balloon and copies of the Living Planet book autographed by David Attenborough. Well, on BBC Two in a moment, there's an alarming experience for Ian Lavender as the Hello Goodbye Man. And on BBC One in 25 minutes, it's goodbye to Devon and hello to London as Jan's ambitions take him to Fleet Street in episode 3 of Diana. But now at 9 o'clock, we join Sue Lawley for the news.
Complacent, negligent, security at the maze is condemned and the governor resigns. The faulty forensic scientist, 16 convictions are to be reviewed. The union ban at Cheltenham, Mrs Thatcher stands firm, the opposition calls her a dictator. 2 soldiers found dead in Scotland's blizzards. And Farmer Jim at home in the fields of France. Good evening. The Northern Ireland Secretary, James Pryor, has rejected calls for his resignation over the Maze prison breakout last September. But the prison's governor has resigned, blamed by the official report published today for the laxity, carelessness and negligence of his staff. The escape by 38 Republican terrorists was the biggest jailbreak in British history. The inquiry into how it happened, led by Sir James Hennessy, the Chief Inspector of Prisons, concludes that there was a combination of technical and human failures. In particular, it says, staff had become complacent about the dangers and lazy practices had been allowed to develop. Mr Pryor said in the Commons he didn't think he had been negligent, as the mistakes made did not concern matters of policy.
Of course, I have considered very carefully what I should do, and I waited for the report to be published to see whether there was criticism of any decision that I had reached. And having read the report very carefully indeed, and having spoken to Sir James Hennessy and asked him outright whether there was anything that I did or did not do which in any way contributed to the outbreak of the Maze, I am satisfied that I cannot take responsibility for what happened.
Isn't it inevitable, though, that some members of the prison service are going to feel that their members have been made scapegoats in all this?
But, I mean, you can only go by the report. And the report is absolutely clear that there was a lack of discipline and that there was a lack of command within the prison that was primarily responsible for what happened. People simply did not do what they were ordered to do. And to that extent, I'm afraid that in a disciplined society, they have to carry the can.
Ever since the escape, 4 months ago, prison staff at the Maze have been bracing themselves for criticism. Sir James Hennessy says many officers as well as security equipment were to blame. In H Block 7, the escapers successfully concealed 5 guns smuggled to them. Searches didn't reveal them. The report says there were examples of security grills left unlocked, posts unattended, alarms not properly answered, and so on. All that undoubtedly encouraged the escapers, who, once they'd taken control of the whole of H Block 7, were able to travel unchallenged in a hijacked food lorry through